So this is chapter 8, question and answers of Dr. Rajiv Mal's book on software engineering. This is object-oriented software development. First question is, what is the difference between object-oriented analysis and object-oriented design? OOA and OOD. The answer would be this object-oriented analysis, OOA, which refers to a method of developing an initial model of a software from the requirement specification. This analysis is a type of analysis in which we make or try to develop the initial model from the SRS or say requirement specification. While the OOD, the analysis model, is then refined into a design model. So analysis model is created by OOA, then the refinement of this OOA, object-oriented analysis or initial model, is done through the object-oriented design. Second is, do you need to develop all the views of a system using all the modeling diagrams supported by UML? Justify your answer. The question is, do you need to develop all the views of the system using the, say, UML? The answer is no. If you have a simple system, then the use case model, the class diagram, that is one of the interaction diagram, that may be sufficient for a simple system. And for those systems in which the objects undergo various changes or state changes, then we will require a state diagram that may be required. And for those systems which is implemented on a large number of hardware components, then we will have a deployment diagram that may be necessary. So the type of models to be constructed, it actually depends on the problem which is there, the type of requirements which are there. What are design patterns? What are the advantages of using design patterns, and name some popular design patterns? These patterns are widely used in this kind of software engineering. Patterns, they are standard solutions to some commonly recurring problem. Like if you have a cut in your hand, then people would advise use a Dettol or then paste a band-aid. So these are the standard solutions. A pattern serves as a good guide for creating a good design. You can have a good design with pattern because they are already tested. Pattern are based on sound common sense and the application of fundamental design principles. So once you are familiar with the patterns, you can easily spot them in your development projects and you can reuse them, or you can easily take it from somewhere which is already being used. There are some important patterns like expert, creator, control, and facade. Fourth is, state whether the following statements are true or false. Give reasons behind your answer. First is, deep class hierarchies are signs of object-oriented design done well. Deep class hierarchies. And this is actually false. When you have class hierarchies which are deep, means the tree structure is quite long. The classes at the bottom of the hierarchy, they tend to have too many methods, making it very difficult to understand the behavior of these classes. Right? B. A large number of message exchanges among objects during the realization of a use case indicates effective delegation of responsibilities and is a good sign of good design. Do you agree with this? The answer is again false. And why this is false? Because if you have a large number of message exchanges, it will again make it difficult to understand the design and you cannot debug it properly. Then fifth is define the term cohesion in the context of object-oriented design of system. Cohesion. And in this, we are going to answer in this way, that cohesion, what is cohesion first of all? The cohesion is the functional strength of the module. So in terms of object-oriented design, in object-oriented design, what happens? We create object and then we invoke these objects. There are certain functions which work on these objects. So these functions which are working on these objects are the member functions or the functions which you are devising. They should be very cohesive in terms of a class to which this object is belonging. So this is how the cohesion we can relate with the object-oriented design. Question 6 is, what are some of the important features to characterize a good object-oriented design? In a good object-oriented design, the class which you are making or the objects which you are referring to, the object has to be related to a real life entity, and the classes which you are referring to has to be a unique class, and the function inside that class has to be highly cohesive, and the different classes, the function should be the coupling should be at least as possible. So this characterizes a good object-oriented design. Now, briefly outline the important steps involved in developing a software system using a popular object-oriented design methodology. So it would be like this: in object-oriented design, we are concerned with the cohesion at three levels. First, cohesiveness of the individual methods which are there in the class. So cohesiveness of each of these individual methods, they are desirable. Since it shows that each method does only a well-defined function which is assigned to it, that is the functional strength of the function itself is very good. And the function strength between the different functions in a module is quite strong. What about cohesiveness of the data and methods within a class? So we are concerned at three levels. First is this cohesiveness of the individual methods, then cohesiveness of the data and methods within a class. So this is desirable since it assures that the methods of an object, they do actions for which the object is naturally responsible. That is, it assures that no action has been improperly handed to an object or mapped to an object. What are the variables there or data members? They are worked upon or they are executed by the functions which are there in the class. What about cohesiveness of an entire class hierarchy? Cohesiveness. So cohesiveness of methods within a class is desirable since it is going to promote the encapsulation of the objects. And what object-oriented means is you are trying to encapsulate the data members and functions inside a capsule. And those should be cohesive. Now we see that 8, 9, 10, 11 questions and we have already covered them in detail in chapter 5 question answer series. We have made the complete activity diagram and the structure chart. So I leave this as an exercise for you to perform the object oriented design on the same. So thank you so much. These are a few questions of object oriented design of Dr. Rajiv Mal's books. Thank you so much.